Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. How are you doing? Hope your week has been going on great. In this video I want to give just another update on the four major pairs that see what's happening today in the market. I'll be starting off with gold from the weekly time frame and we'll work our way down. So on the weekly time frame again, as we all know, price in the bearish move, moving to the downside. Price, you can see, has crossed the 1990 level, came back up to retest it yesterday, forming this bearish pin bar after bouncing off that 1990 level, which I expected that to happen. I mentioned that yesterday. And today price initially started moving bearish, but started going in the opposite direction, back up to the 1990 level. I still expect price to get down to the 1970 area. That's where my bias is, and that hasn't changed yet. So I am still expecting price to get to the 1970 area and possibly break that to the upside. Or if price gets back down to that area, it may get back up to the 1990 area as well. So that's basically what I'm looking at on the daily time frame. And if we go to the 4-hour time frame where we normally take our entry, we can see that price hasn't quite gotten to the level that we want it to get to. It was close to that area where it got to the 1973 area, but not right into the zone where we expect it to be. Again, I am still waiting for that to happen, and I believe that that is going to happen pretty soon. So the question is, how do we trade this market at the moment? So there are two things we can do. Okay, so it's either we're patient and we wait for price to get down into the zone, right, into this 1970 area, and see how price reacts. If price gives us a buy sell from here or a buy signal, we can take our trade to the upside, and if price gives us a sell signal, we can take it to the downside. But all in all, we are waiting for our trade to price to enter into this zone here before we make our decision. And even if we go to the lower time frame, same thing. We're waiting for price to just get into that level there before we make our decision. So if price doesn't get down here, right, into the 1970 area, and price keeps moving up, then we just wait for price to get into the 1990 area again, and then we look for our trade there. So two places, either the 1970 area or the 1990 area. Expecting price to get up to that level there, either gives us a sell trade from there or breaks that place to the upside, or price gets down into the 1770 area there and sells to the top, or breaks it to the downside. So that's basically what we're looking for. So at the moment, if you're not in any trade on gold, I would say wait for price to get to those two key levels before you take any trade. Next, I'll go through EURUSD just to show you what's happening in the market. So far we can see on the weekly time frame that price has been moving bearish. Price broke support at 1.084 zone, came all the way down to the 1.076 zone, and then we can see price bouncing up to retest this resistance level here around the 1.08203 level, and now heading down. That's on the weekly time frame. On the daily time frame, we can see what price has formed as well. This week that we can see here, we can see price entering into this area here, where let me change the color so it doesn't confuse us. Yeah, so into this area here where you can see all this week This basically shows us that there is something happening in here that's between this 1.07 or 1.08 and 1.083 zone, that there is something happening there, such that anytime price gets in there, there is some sort of reaction, most likely price pushing to the downside. So what I'm going to say about this is, if price, anytime price enters here, it seems to be rejecting off, so it shows us that there is something there. If eventually price manages to break through this area, right, especially back up into this 1.084 zone, I would expect price to even continue further, probably break that level, retest it, and continue to the upside, right? Just because of what is happening here, and it will require a lot of us to push price through that area. On the other hand, if price continues to the downside, before I take any trade, I will wait for this 1.076 area to break, wait for the retest, and then look to take price to the downside, possibly here as take profit 1, and then continue further to the downside. So this essentially on the Euro USD is what I'm looking like. If we go into the 4-hour time frame as well, we can see the same thing, where this zone that I've mapped out, anytime price gets into that area there is some sort of reaction. So except if price breaks through, just like this candlestick here, we can see that breaking through and then going all the way down, and then price entering into that region there, bouncing back down, price enter there again, and then bounce back down. So just as I mentioned, if this area is to break here, you expect a strong bearish and bullish candle to do that back into this level here, where ultimately we can see price break up as well, come back to retest the area and to the upside, or price goes back down to breaking through the 1.076 area, retesting it, and then going all the way to the downside. So essentially, our key areas where we will be looking to trade still remains the 1.084 and the 1.076 zones, and that's why we are expecting price to have a major reaction, and we will capitalize on that if that happens. So again, even though my bias is somewhat bearish, I am still looking at those key zones to see what happens. Next on GBP USD, again we start from weekly time frame, and we can see price bouncing off resistance level at the 1.274 area to the downside, strongly bullish by this bullish engulfing candle. Got to this resistance support level here at the 1.254 area. Price tried to go bounce above that area, but we can see on the weekly time frame is forming this sort of pain bar, and if the candle closes like this, most likely price will continue to the side. Now if we go to the daily candle, I have been in a sell trade for a while. Price has struggled to break below this support level of 1.254. It seems that on this daily candle, price is currently below that area, and if this daily candle closes below this support level after attempting to close below that several times, then definitely I expect price to continue to the downside once this daily candle closes below this 1.254 zone. And if we go to the 4-hour time frame, essentially that's what we've seen. We've seen a very good sign on the 4-hour time frame actually, where we can see this price has broken through and closed below this zone, which it failed to do several times in the past. We can see all this area here, price testing that area, but never quite breaking below or closing below that area until this recent 4-hour candle. So what I will do is wait for the daily candle to close, and if the daily candle as this closes below this zone here as it is now, then I will enter more sell positions on GBP USD. So that essentially that's what I'm looking at. And lastly, if we go to GBPJPY, we can see on the weekly time frame first that price has been bearish, moving strongly to the downside. Price quickly came up with buyers pushing price up to the 184.3 zone there, and then quickly bouncing to the downside. So you can see this long wick here, which means there were a lot of selling pressure up there. And if we go down to the daily time frame, we can see price making this off after forming this top pattern. You can see price getting down into this 181 area there, and then bouncing back to the 184 and the 3 zone, and it seems to be coming back down to retest the 181 area, which is what I am expecting price to do. At the moment for GBPJPY, I won't take any trades yet. I would see how price reacts in terms of getting into the zone, and then I would make my decision there. That doesn't mean that there is no trade on this pair, because if you go to lower time frames, you should be able, with what I've said so far, what I've been saying, you should be able to pick key areas of support and resistance where you can actually capitalize on, and one of those areas will be here. So somewhere around this area, we can see that price has been playing around really. See the wicks in this area, and then price ranging in this area as well. When price broke out of that area, came back in, and then has been bouncing off that area. And also to continue this sort of down trade, if this area eventually breaks, we'll wait for a retest there for sell trade, and then you can take a sell back into the zone that we're expecting. But then again, that's if you're a day trader. I won't bother taking this off trade at all. I will just be patient as it is, just wait to see how price forms before taking any trade on GBPJPY. Rather, I will just look at my trades on GBPUSD, EURUSD, and on gold as well. So that has been an update on the 4 major pairs. I hope you found this video helpful. If you have, kindly leave a like, and if you haven't subscribed, kindly subscribe to the channel for more analysis videos. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great rest of the week. Cheers.
You know just what you do to me. Play my emotions like a pair of puppet strings.